Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live watch party. I am here. Can I? No. Yeah, I can't. Am I here? Shoot. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming on in. It has been a few weeks. We've been out. Just a very slew of things. Bad weather was hitting, and then I had my parents in town for 2 Sundays in a row, essentially, and so that's why the past 2 weeks I wasn't streaming. But I'm glad to be back, and I figured let's come back and catch up a little bit. Um, Obviously, Stranger Things ended, and in the past few weeks we've had Night of the Seven Kingdoms kind of coming up out of nowhere. Some people are calling it the greatest show out right now, the greatest show in years. Obviously, those people never saw Cobra Kai, but definitely it's really good. Uh, yeah, like even Wife Party is really liking Night of the Seven Kingdoms. You know, she liked mostly straight or Game of Thrones. Never liked House of the Dragon, and so we just started watching this one. You know, when it came out, every Sunday we were just watching it, and she was really liking it. Actually, yesterday, just yesterday, she's like, "Oh, is there a new Night of the Seven Kingdoms tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's going to be episode 6. It'll be like the season finale. It'll be the last." And she's like, "Oh, it's only it's the last one already." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, that's a shame. I'm like looking forward to it." So like, I mean, definitely like for her to be looking forward to a show, like the last time she did that was when we watched Cobra Kai together, I guess. um, but yeah, so definitely it's really good, and um bringing out a lot of like positivity, and it's maybe revitalized the Westeros Game of Thrones world a little bit for sure, and that's like helping a lot because that hasn't been done in a long time. And so like so we're definitely like everyone's like really getting along with that, and it's good. So that's like um the advantage, right? Like that's what we're all about. And so it's worth, questioning then, hey, what's the best show? Right? What is the best one? I feel ridiculous. I gotta renew my Streamyard, but anyway, we'll do it later. Um, and also just week ago or just over a week ago, we also passed the 1 year anniversary of the end of Cobra Kai, which was quite a time. Sad, really, but it's amazing. It's been a year. We didn't get any news about spinoffs, which we had been hoping. Um, I thought we would get something. I'm almost surprised we didn't. And even if it was something in the sense of like nothing wrapped up as something, if you know what that means, like, and it's the sort of thing John would do a lot. He would just say something like, "We're working on spinoffs." Um, but didn't really get anything from him. So I thought that was surprising. Um, but no news isn't bad news. And in some respects, no news could even be good news. Because it implies um there's something they can't talk about, right? Like if nothing was gonna happen and it was dead, they would say so. But if like stuff is going on right in the moment, sometimes they can't talk. They don't want to talk about it in the moment. Cobra Kai DVD release on March 3rd. Oh, good point, Derek. Thank you for bringing that back up because that is important. Um, it's season 6. They're releasing the whole series too, or isn't it? Like, because I know there's an audio commentary with John, Josh, and Hayden in, I guess, the first episode and last episode, if I recall correctly. Right. So, which is nice because you don't get audio commentaries much anymore. But like, um, audio commentaries, man, they were the thing. Um, I think, like, I thought like audio commentaries were great. But yeah, so there's definitely going to be, yeah, season 6 on DVD, whole series on Blu-ray. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, and that's just coming what, March 3rd. So what, 2 weeks away? Let me check. Or not even a full 2 week. God, yeah, it's a short month. Like less than a week and a half. A week from Tuesday. Tuesdays. If you didn't know, like Tuesday was always the new DVD day. For some reason, like the industry just had this thing. They always, I don't even know, maybe it goes back to VHS too. Where they all, whenever a new movie dropped on DVD, it was always a Tuesday for whatever reason. I I guess it was picked because it was like midweek from like Friday, because since the weekend is like the big thing, obviously for the box office, and they don't want to like compete against themselves. And sometimes you have like a Monday if there's a holiday. So like I don't know, for some reason, and like that goes back decades, because like decades ago, like my sister worked at Best Buy and she was telling me that like yeah, the new DVDs it always drops on Tuesday, and back at the time, if there was like a special on it or something, you'd buy it the first day, so you'd show up that Tuesday. Um, I think I was gonna say I think often books are the same way, like at the bookstore, but I'm not sure about that. But definitely like DVDs. So anyway, yeah, coming out on a Tuesday. Still, always a Tuesday. I do think Cobra Kai is better because there's more suspense, there's more drama, more romance, more intense rivalries between two groups. And I got some very interesting news to tell you. Cobra Kai spinoff is definitely in the works. And Mary Mauser is in talks and doing it, and they're keeping it very, very quiet. So if it's so quiet, Scott, how do you know? Like I am intrigued, but I mean, you don't have to tell me they're keeping it quiet because like nothing's going around, like nothing. Even like when I thought they may say something, like I was just saying on the 13th when we had the 1 year anniversary, any sort of commemoration or something, not really. Um, I read it about it on Wikipedia. Oh dear God. Wikipedia. What Wikipedia article did you read? I'm almost curious now. Um, let me search here. Cobra Kai spin off wiki. Wikipedia is ridiculous. Fun fact, I think it was season 2. No, I think it was season before season 2. Or no. No, I think it was like right after season 2. Might have been in season 3. I remember them saying like Thomasine Griffith and Terry Silver it was like some weird Wikipedia article, and people were going on it. Drew, I remember, made a video. Oh my God, Terry Silver's going to be back. It's in Wikipedia. This might have even been before he was Cobra Kai Kid. He had like another channel, Drew, too, before that. Um, Like, I just remember, like, this and, at the time, of course, I didn't talk about it because it was stupid and not real. But anyway, yeah, Wikipedia is the dumbest things. Um, what I read on the internet about it in the trees in between Mary Mauser, Sholo, I interested in doing spinoff together or Miguel and Hawk and Dimitri. It sounds like whatever you're reading is just like rumors, man, or speculation. People speculate, and sometimes people's speculation comes off as like this is what's happening, but it's actually just people making shit up. And it's fine to make shit up. Like if you want to like speculate on your own favorite like spin-offs and stuff, like yeah, go for it. But um like it doesn't like it's not actually it's just speculation. Like that's not actually what's happening in any way. Has any of the Cobra Kai cast crew seen your face or just wife party? In person? Yeah, but they didn't know it. Not in person? Also, yes. Some, not the cast. Well, some crew and some fans to be remain anonymous. Matt Moore's here. Matt, great to see you here. Hope the twins are doing good. Coming along. My version of Samantha Miguel spinoff is they go to Okinawa, very similar to when Daniel went to Okinawa. She develops a rivalry with a girl there from Miguel's love. And then Miguel and Samantha have a night over romance. And then Sam calls her father and Chosen for help about this girl. And they come because they went through the same thing years ago. So Daniel's going to come back and Chosen's going to come back. He has a school there. He just abandoned. These are students. Robbie's here. Robbie Macaulay. Hey, Robbie. So I think like realistically, there's no word on any spinoff yet. Um, there's a lot of hopes for sure. Definitely hopes. And but it looks like nothing's been official yet. How would you feel if they do a spinoff of Cobra Kai with Mary Mauser, her and Miguel at Okinawa? I mean, I'm fine with any spinoff. What you mentioned specifically, I don't necessarily think is what's going to come. Um, but like, you know, anything they get out there, like for sure, like I'm gonna watch it, right? Like, so definitely, if they got something in mind for Okinawa, yeah, like let's do it. I've talked about this. I've talked about this with Melissa. Um, because she's really in favor of like um an Okinawa show with Sam, but like I don't care. Like I don't think that's what it'll be. I still think they're going to try and work on something with Miyagi. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Pumped for the new He-Man movie. They watched the 80s Master Chief Dolph Lundgren at least 100 times. My God. How did you get them on that? Like that movie wasn't good, even like if you were a kid. Like no disrespect to your kids, but like come on. Like show them the 80s cartoon. I mean, the 80s cartoon would probably be better than the 80s movie. And honestly, like it doesn't look like a He-Man movie for me. Although I will just say I don't know if there is a He-Man movie for me. Like He-Man, I know it, but like it was a little bit before my time. But like I know it, like I get it. I guess I mean like I had He-Man action figures, but like it wasn't my favorite. Like I don't know what He-Man for me would be, but I don't think this movie is it. Mary Mauser should do a Twilight spinoff. She would love that. She was one of those twihards, you know, well, doing her Twilight stuff at the time. Mary. Um, she wanted to be a vampire. I think she said that, like she just wanted to be a vampire. Oh, the she was that age. She was like at that right age, teenage years, right when those books and movies were peaking. Um, I'm sure there's like a lot of girls like her, who are super into that, and now they live uh pseudo vampire esque romances and marriages. um with my honest opinion, I think Samantha will be the first spinoff, or Mr. Miyagi, Daniel Miguel, Eli Dimitri spinoff. Yeah, I feel like the last season set up a Miyagi spinoff. I mean, that's definitely where they're thinking. What is it in the works? Are they doing other stuff first? They've announced plenty of things, right? Like they've announced um movies and stuff. So like there's they're working on stuff. So maybe they just want to get through some of this other stuff, the Harold and Kumar, which is, only beginning stages, the Knight Rider, before like moving back to Miyagi verse. I mean, that would be my best guess at the moment. You want me to guess? That's my guess. That way they can have a couple of years, and maybe maybe that's the thinking, rather than go straight into a spinoff like this year. Like let's say they just went straight into production and it's coming out in like 2 months. Like instead of like it barreling that fast, like let it sit for a couple of years. Um, the theory could be similar to like what they did with House of the Dragon. What year did that first come out? Fuck, like 2022, 2023. It was like 2022, wasn't it? Because let's see. It didn't come out. Shit. Yeah, it was like 2022. So freaking long. So anyway, So anyway, they let like Westeros sit a few years, although they needed to because of the poor ending of that show. But I think like there's a thinking like maybe we'll let it sit, and John Josh and Hayden have stuff to do, right? Like they have other stuff they want to work on. They're not like one trick ponies by any stretch of the means. They got a lot of stuff cooking, so to speak. Um, Even just now, John is out, pitching Obliterated. Like, hey, rooting for USA, go ahead and watch Obliterated. It was their, pseudo patriotic show, um, which I made a video on it. Like, it's like, yeah, it's like patriotic, but like yeah, it works. Like, it didn't quite now I'm going off on Obliterated. Like it didn't like the way like Top Gun Maverick hit hard, like it felt patriotic and stuff. Like I think they were going for that and it didn't quite like hit that level. But like I think it was still better, than most what's out there. So for by all means. So anyway, that's a little what am I saying? Anyway, yeah. So John's out there, pitching Obliterated. I think they're always hoping like since Obliterated had the distinct the distinction of being the most watched canceled show right after one season. It's such a like unfortunate distinction. It was the most watched canceled show on Netflix. Um, that they're always hoping if they can, get a little groundswell support, you never know, maybe they'll bring it back. Um, that hope is there. So anyway, that's what John Josh are doing now. Mary Bowser Twilight. Be interested in seeing Cobra Kai animated series. Do you think all the Cars cast will be interested in doing it? Or professional voice actors? They would probably bring in voice actors because they would be cheaper. Like the professional cast would want more money and they would want it to be cheap. Kind of like what they're doing with that Stranger Things. Whatever the hell that animated cartoon, which looks stupid. Um, I don't even want to talk about it, but it looks stupid. But it's mostly different actors. They like the 80s cartoon okay, but Skeletor is super scary to them in the 80s Masters film, and they love that. Fair enough. Netflix is too busy trying to convince us that Stranger Things is still good with the new animated show. No, that new animated show looks horrible. Why spend time and money on something they knew was successful? Um, yeah, I mean, I just don't. I can't speak to that animated show. Like, I think I think Stranger Things, and I finally got a video out, a month and a half later. Um, I think it had like a bittersweet ending. I think it hit the emotions and feels and wasn't quite as bad as some people make it out. There were definitely some faults in the final season. It didn't hit a home run, but it managed to land on some level. Hear me out. Silver's master plan included a perfect genetic clone that is early 20s. Karate dojos franchise all over the globe with free lessons, but it's really for a Coke empire. Damn. It's like Breaking Bad, but it's like breaking karate. It's like running a drug empire. Why not? How interesting would it be for a Cobra Kai anime series? They had a day at the beach and Daniel encountered some white sperm whale he saw years ago and showed Sam the whole whale he saw. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's fun to talk, but like, yeah, like there's never gonna be a Cobra Kai animated series. The Karate Kid animated series didn't leave a good taste in people's mouth. Um, despite some defenders, despite some defenders, um, it didn't good. What month? Someone said there are some similarities to Stranger Things and Cobra Kai because there's bowling, there's fight scenes, there's rivalries. Well, I mean, like you can find any sort of similarity if you work hard enough. There's characters, there's dialogue, 80s nostalgia. I mean, which is probably the bigger one. um, you know, but like that doesn't really mean anything. Like, they're just, depictions of school and high school and stuff. Um, and that stuff comes up. I have no current plans to see Scream 7, although people have been asking me to. I'm just not on the Scream bandwagon. And maybe that's unfortunate. Maybe that's unfortunate, but I just never got on it. The whole I don't think like girls things were in strange. I don't have a problem with gay. It was just terrible. Yeah. Yeah, Matt, you're not alone. Like, I mean, like the whole I made a video on it. I don't know if you saw it. What a worst episode or something. Um, but it was almost surprisingly bad. Like wait, they really did this? Like, um, in what I said in my video, which I completely stand by, is um the the scene, like the whole, like his whatever, the gay or whatever, like they kind of touched on that in part one in episode 4, where he had to go through this whole, like, letting go and becoming himself, and whatever, this sort of like, coming to moment that you have, like a coming to moment, or self-acceptance, coming of age moment, that sort of beat and plot point. Like he had that in episode 4, and he got his powers, and it was like really cool. It was like really good. And if you look back, like when part 1 dropped, like everyone was really excited. Everyone thought it was really good. Like everyone was really on board. Like it was really good. So like you didn't need to do it again in episode um 7 or whatever the hell it was. 7. Like you didn't need like another whole long scene of it, like going through all this. Like it was like awkward and weird, and didn't make sense, like really in the context and stuff. And it was just like, what is going on, man? Like what is going on? Like, and I don't know. I saw someone say, and I haven't checked this. Someone said that that coming out scene was actually longer than the final fight against the Mind Flayer in the last episode. I didn't check it, but it does go on a hell of a long time. I mean, maybe if you include some of the before and after, but like, yeah, like it was a little awkward. And totally just not even needed. They already did it in better, like in episode 4. Like he had his moment in episode 4. You don't need to do it twice. Then you're just like hammering it home, and it's just weird and awkward. And I don't know if I would you know, the show was able to get some sort of decent landing in the last episode, but it kind of just like throws this weird wrench in the whole thing. Like if I go back and watch from season 1, am I watching to lead up to that moment? It's just weird. And I just feel like the Duffer Brothers lost sight of what made Will, like what made Will likable. It wasn't that he was gay. It was like, he was this kid. Obviously he was like fun and innocent, and he went through all these things. um it was just constantly like, being on the unfortunate side of, like, Vecna and all this stuff, and being possessed and all that. um but he overcame it. But then, like, his friends were aging, and he wasn't. This is like season 3 I'm talking. um and it's like, and then they just like lost sight of it. And like, one thing, like, in his ending story is like they don't talk about being an artist or something. Like that was such an important character point. Like he was like an artist and all this, and into that, and like none of it gets mentioned. And like his last, and when Mike's telling the story, it's like, oh, he moved to a far city and met someone special. And it's like, well, what about like his art? What about like all that other stuff? It's just like, that's not, I wasn't rooting for Will to like meet someone special. It wasn't saying I'm not, but like that wasn't what I was, rooting for Will. Like, I don't know. I felt like they lost sight of Will, like what made Will so likable, and got caught up in sort of the small online things where people like hyper focus on sexuality, and it's kind of unfortunate, in my opinion. But that opinion, I think, if you look around, is pretty widespread. I'm not the only one. We all knew he was gay since season 1 coming as fine, but do we need a whole monologue while literally the world is collapsing? It's just weird, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's it. It's just in the context and doesn't really make sense. And like I said, I think it was actually done better in episode 4. Um, what do you think everyone's reaction is going to be alive when they say Stu alive in Scream 7? I am not caught up in Scream, man. I saw Scream 1. It was a good movie. That was it. like I could be I saw Scream 1 and it was like, whoa, that was kind of a good movie. No need to watch the sequel. like like so I never did. And then it just kept going. And now here I am running a YouTube channel and people are like, dude, you should get into the Scream franchise. And I'm like, oh my God. This is like it's like a franchise. When was it? Like 1998 or something? The first one came out. God, these like franchises are like decades long. And I mean, I know they just make shit up, like, you know, a lot of horror movies are like that, but like, man. Haven't started Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Is it worth watching? Yes. Episode 1 is probably the worst. It's just slow. Not a lot happens. Very slow to develop, but you don't even have to be familiar with like Westeros or something. In fact, actually, apparently there's words of like people who've never watched Game of Thrones or anything and we're just watching this one and like really liking it. It's a very small self-contained story about the guy in the picture there. You see his name is Duncan the Tall. Goes by Dunk. Basically he was a squire for a knight who is a hedge knight. The show opens where the story opens, you know, his knight had died and knighted him, and so he's kind of like inheriting the stuff, and he's gonna try to make it his own in the world as a knight. You know, he's just you know, I won't even give away his backstory, but you know, let's just say very humble beginnings. He was nothing more than a squire. You know, his knight taught him how to fight and everything and ride a horse and, you know, all the stuff about being a knight. He is a hedge knight, which in Westeros, Game of Thrones world, like hedge knights, it's like the term for people who are knights. They were knighted, uh, you know, but they don't have like a lord or a castle that they fight for or belong to. They kind of just sort of travel the world and they sleep in the hedges. Essentially, they don't have a permanent home, and they just work for whoever needs to hire a knight, which will actually come up in later stories. Like there's like little wars and like they're basically hiring up knights and stuff. Um, so he's a hedge knight essentially. He squired for a hedge knight, was knighted or whatever. You know, the hedge knight died, and now he's trying to make his own. Very very basic story. So it's story, you know, from the opening scene. Just a knight, a young guy. He's technically 17, I think, but you know, maybe a little older here. But you know, becoming a knight and trying to make it in the world, and very good. Yeah, in the first episodes, they're just slow to begin, but it gets pretty good from there. And if you're familiar with Westeros or Game of Thrones, I think you'd like it. Name the actress on Millie Bobby Brown's character in Stranger Things was supposed to be a werewolf. In Stranger Things, she's supposed to get attacked to become a werewolf. What do you think? I'm not sure, Scott. I'm not sure what you're saying. Name the 11? Are you saying 11 was going to be a werewolf? That doesn't make any sense. Scream came out in 96. Okay. Wow. So it is 30 years. Shit. 30 years. Hey, go for it. I feel like I wonder if there's younger people here. What do you think of that? Like, if I think when I was like in high school and there's like part 7 of a movie and it started from 30 years ago, like from 90, like if it came out in 66, like it would seem so old to me. like in a way, like Star Wars movies were old to me, and maybe on some level they were, but like they weren't like they weren't even like that old like Scream was. And sometimes there were movies that were there were like 6 Police Academy movies, right? But that was like because they made one every year. They just kept coming. Good evening. Looking forward to watching Scream 7. It's intense and scary. Oh, everyone's on Scream. I don't know. Maybe I should see it. I guess. I don't fucking know. I'll ask wife party when she's home. You see Scream? I don't know. But then I feel like if I watch it, having not seen any of the last, 5. Millie Bobby Brown's character in Stranger Things was supposed to get attacked by a werewolf and become a werewolf herself. That's what I'm trying to say. And there's a werewolf in there was a werewolf in the show. Who is the werewolf in the show? I think whatever you're hearing, you have your information wrong. I don't think 11 was ever going to be a werewolf. She was like 11. They had their whole story from with 11, that's not completely mapped out, but like they knew, she was a girl from the military lab and blah 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 and Papa, they had 11 pretty solid. Um, I don't think there was ever supposed to be a werewolf. That just sounds like out there. I mean, I've heard various things. Like originally, it was going to be one of those like anthology shows or something, where like every season is a new story with like a new cast. But then season one was such a hit, they decided to just keep the cast they have. Um, do you remember the 1988 Godzilla movie? Do you know they actually used the T Rex design from Jurassic Park? What do you think about this? I do remember that movie. It sucked. It was so stupid. I'll even forget. Like the military's there ready to fight Godzilla, and Godzilla's like in the dark or something, and he's like looking in at the tanks and guns, and they're like, hold your fire, wait for the moment." And then he kills all the military. Like they got all their guns and cannons pointed at him, like right in his eye, even, and they didn't shoot. That movie was stupid, man. Regardless of the T-Rex design, I mean, maybe they borrowed it from Jurassic Park because that was what was big at the time, sure. But yeah, that movie was dumb. Oof. Cobra Kai rapper from the 2000s. Watch party, hey, what's up? What it do? I hope everything's going well for you. And I'm glad to see you on the stream. Yes, we're back. We're back from the thousands. Hitting it good. Doing it my side. Come on, people. Get in the stream. Chat it up. Let's make it mean something tonight. Cobra Kai rapper from the 2000s. I see Dinosaur is reading Godzilla in 98. They want to bring that Godzilla back into a TV series? And they would Godzilla multiverse? I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll make a Godzilla TV show. I doubt it has much connection to 98, though. That's a movie mostly forgotten for the reasons I told you. It sucked. Chris Pratt in talks to return for the sequel, Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah, Jurassic Park, like, is another one of those kind of like Scream. Like, if you watch the first one, do you really need to watch any of the others? I saw Jurassic Park. And here's the thing, I saw the sequel too. The Lost World. It was a little disappointing, and I was done after that. I didn't watch anything else. I watched the sequel one time, and I was like, never again. I'm just going to watch Jurassic Park. And that's where we are. Um, I all these Jurassic World and shit. I don't. Do you need that? I mean, they're just like action movies with dinosaurs. I guess people like it, but like, it's just a, it's just a, a lesser impression of the original. Nothing as good as the original. Nothing is good as the original. So, I mean, I'm just not into like, I mean, whatever, your summer popcorn fun, whatever. People go watch Jurassic World, I guess, but like they were never that good. The original is amazing. It's a Jurassic Park movie, but it's not a Jurassic Park. There's not enough dinosaur action, no dinosaur battles or anything. Hmm. Okay. Gareth Edwards has totally destroyed the Jurassic Park franchise for me. He used the made movie he took out the final battle between T Rex and the new D Rex. Well, there you go, guys. There you go. The franchise is ruined. um, I know the most recent one didn't make as much money, but I think that's because like movies itself are like really falling, unfortunately. You know, the box office is down. I don't know, guys. Like, what is it gonna mean? What is it gonna mean? Are people gonna come back? We'll see. Don't get me wrong, Gareth Edwards did a great job in the 2014 Godzilla movie, but he totally destroyed Jurassic Park franchise for me. Wasn't was it not Walter White, the actor? I can't remember his name. Wasn't he in that movie, or was it someone else? Someone from Breaking Bad was in that movie. I saw that movie too, and it was like maybe not as bad as the '98 version, but it wasn't great. Yeah, it's definitely better than the '98, but like I remember thinking like it still wasn't like fantastic. It's a shame. It's a shame, people. All right. Yeah. Anyway, what an interesting side conversation. All these Godzilla movies. But I'm sitting here like so like now like so sometimes like Sky, people ask you about a movie, but like you think back to like that movie. Like I'm thinking back in like 2014 and watching that, and I don't know, I don't remember like I remember just thinking like even though like the movie was better than the 98, a little bit of a letdown. Like I just remember like having overall good feelings about the time. Oh man, like just being kind of happy or something. I don't know. That was when I had that other job. Yeah. What do you think of Mary Mauser playing Kimberly in a Power Rangers movie? She said she's interested. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Mary's problem now is she's aging out a little. Isn't she hitting like 30 at this point? No. Shit. Yeah, I think she's like 29, 30. I think Mary's kind of aged out of playing like a teenager, you know. Like and whenever anyone talked about like how the kids in Cobra Kai looked older than they were, like they were always talking about Sam, i.e. Mary. Like they were always like I remember my parents bringing that up, and that was in like season 4, maybe season 3 or 4. They're like, that girl kind of doesn't look like a high school kid. And I know she was 21 when she shot season 1, and that was like 2017 they shot it. So, yeah, so yeah, Mary's probably moved past, she needs to move on. I don't think there's many more roles of her, playing high school. Like maybe she could get away with like young 20s, maybe. Um if there's a character in that age range, but like so like I'm gonna just say that's a no on her playing the Pink Ranger because part of the Power Rangers is like they're in high school. It's one of those high school kids, superheroes. So that's your dose of reality about the Pink Ranger. Um, do you think Mary Mauser could do more martial arts, or do you think she could do voiceover films? Well, she can certainly do voiceover. She did voiceover before. Um, I forget what the show is. I mean, I never saw it, but I know she voiced one of those characters that was somewhat popular. Um, could she do martial arts? I mean, she could, but she was never that great. Um, you know, they can always use a stunt double. And if you have a film, you can do it a little bit better. Cobra Kai never quite had the budget or shooting time, to do the best they could. Um, maybe she's in something a little bit more with movement based than previously, but I don't think it's her natural strength. God bless her. She did a lot of work. Peyton did a lot of work. They all did a lot of work. Um, but she's not a natural martial artist or athlete. She'll tell you that, like she has. It's not natural for her. So, she's able to pull it off a little bit, but she's not exactly great at it. So, and part of the problem with the movie, I mean, like on the one hand, a movie, you have more budget, you can work a lot better with your stunt doubles to make it work. But also it's even less forgiving. Um, you, something about Cobra Kai, like, um, I used to read like Reddit or something, and whenever someone would complain, "Oh, Sam's just so bad at like the martial arts," the Sam lovers, believe me, I'm aware of them. They would come in and defend it. No, she was awesome, and they would list like these awesome moments of Sam, but everything they listed was always a stunt double. Like all of Sam's best moves generally were stunt double. I guess Mary did a couple good ones. Um, Weirdly, like maybe like the flip in season 1 was probably her her best when she kissed Miguel. But I mean, Mary obviously worked really hard and did a lot of good ones, but like she's not a natural. And whenever like the Sam lovers were like out there defending her, they were always listing stuff which was like clearly like her stunt double. like I knew almost every shot. Like you don't realize how much like I've been through it. Like, and I mean, I can tell when it's the actor and when it's the double, um, almost all the time. So that's just it is what it is. Sort of the same with Peyton too. I remember Peter interviewing Janelle and Hito, and asking, like, after season 3, who was the most improved or something, and they were like, Peyton. She came in and was not like very good. Um, yeah, so she was not very good, but she improved. All right, guys, what do you think? Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out in just a couple of minutes. We gonna watch it? It's the last episode of the season, but I do recommend it if you haven't. Um, there's more comments here. Hold on. Oh, I get like there was like a backlog. A bunch of comments come at once. Do you think Mary Mauser would be good at a werewolf movie or event more were of a vampire? No, I would say she's better a vampire, which she would probably like that. You know the scene where Sam was in the water isolation thing and fought her evil self. Her evil self looked really good. I don't know why, but she should commit to that kind of makeup or whatever. Fair point. Fair point. Maybe she was just wearing black and she looked good like that. It's like I like remember when you fought your evil self? Your evil self looked really good. Try to be more evil. Like, be more the evil. It really works for you. It's your good side, the evil. With Mary's work, I think she could be good in any movie like romance. She's a good actor, and that's always carried her in everything she's done. And I don't know what her career plans are at the moment, but I think she'll be good going forward, whatever she wants to do. I think Danielle versus Terry Silver final fight was the best that I'd ever seen in the series. Fun. Yeah. I mean, I loved that fight. I think I ranked it number 1. When we did top 10 fights or whatever, Peter and I, while we're waiting for season 6, we did like top 10 fights. And I think that was my number 1. Loved it. Short, sweet, but hit the feels. Girls are watching School Spirits. Yeah, I guess that show did pretty well. I watched a few episodes. I wasn't in love with it. Yeah, I wasn't in love with it, but I definitely and I remember watching like I didn't like had a twist at the end, season 1. It's like, oh my god. But good for Peyton. Good for your girls. Oh. Good for your girls, man. All right. What do we think here? All right, guys. Maybe we edit out for now. Show's done. We'll be watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and videos will keep coming. Learn party video, the sexual hierarchy. Be sure to watch for that one. All right, guys. Love you all. I'll see you at the next watch party.